Hey coaches, Coach Simpson, welcome to my YouTube channel. This week I've been talking about attacking the 3-4. If you'd like more in-depth information, specifically how I would do this with my offense, you can go to my website, fbcoachsimpson.com, or you can go to CoachTube. There's a course on there that literally is titled Attacking the 3-4. A little bit of background knowledge, if you didn't watch yesterday's episode, I run a 3-4 defense. I believe it's a great defense, but like anything, there are areas you have to address, and the offensive side of the ball is always looking to exploit those. So yesterday we talked about conflict players, how to identify conflict players, really in any defense, but specifically in the 3-4 defense. Today we're going to talk about this concept here, run at speed. We run a 3-4 defense at the school, every school I've been at now for the last 10 years, we've run a 3-4 defense. And if you asked us, why do we run a 3-4 defense, we're going to have a variety of answers. It's flexible, it's multiple, there's a lot of different things. But the reality is, most 3-4 defensive coaches, myself included, are trying to put our best athletes on the field because the game has turned into speed. You need to have speed on defense. So that's why a lot of guys have moved away from a 4-front to a 3-front. It doesn't make a 4-front wrong, it doesn't make a 3-front right. It's just the philosophy of that coach. We're going to try to put an extra linebacker on the field as opposed to a defensive lineman. Okay, well, by nature, that's going to put a faster player on the field and take a larger player off of the field. So the way you want to exploit that is you want to find that guy who's been put on the field to handle spread offenses. Okay, so a lot of times those are going to be outside linebackers. Those are probably going to be safeties. You know, guys that, yeah, they're going to come fit. They're probably really good athletes, but we're going to try to put them in a position they're not real comfortable. And that's where this part of my offense comes in. But you could run a two tight look or just a single tight end and probably accomplish a lot of the same idea. Here's what I mean by that. More than likely, these outside linebackers in this defense are great athletes. They're going to be long, they're going to be lanky, they're going to cover a lot of space, they're going to be physical kids. What they are not is guys that are used to putting their hand in the ground. Okay, they're not going to be a defensive tackle. They're not going to be a nose tackle. They're playing outside linebacker, so they have to be able to cover. Now, there may be a couple exceptions. I'm sure in the comments here, people may say, well, we have a 250-pound outside backer. Well, you're probably going to go undefeated. Okay? But most teams, if you're putting a speedier guy over here, you're giving up a little bit of size, and you're probably giving up a little bit. He's not physical, but he's not as comfortable handling the ball coming right at him. Okay? If he is, then you want to do spread them out and get into what we're going to talk about tomorrow, using different formations to kind of exploit him. Okay? So what I'm getting to with all of this is we're going to try to find which of these outside linebackers is really a fifth DB. You know, they got 4 DBs, 2 outside backers. Is one of those guys more of a DB type kid, a guy that's more comfortable in space, a guy that's more comfortable on the edges? And we're going to try to get our tight end matched up against him, or we're going to try to get him to come down to our world. We don't want to let him play in space. That's where he's comfortable. We want to bring him down where now we can down block on him, we can kick out on him on trap, we can base out on him with a tight end or a thicker player, we can run buck sweep at him. We're going to try to bring him into our world. The same thing with this corner right over here. Okay? A lot of times, if you watch me talk before, we start off the game, we don't really account for the corners in the blocking scheme because we want to see, are you going to come tackle? Because most of the time, you're not recruiting a corner, and the number one thing you have is he a great tackler? You know, it's probably, can he cover? Does he understand coverages? And then somewhere in there is, can he tackle? The world that corner is not going to be super comfortable with is a big running back coming right at him. So we're going to try to put him in spaces like that. So that's what I mean by run at speed. Find the undersized defender. Don't try to run sideline to sideline. Block down, kick out, and run right at them. And see how they handle it. If they handle it really well, you're probably going to be in trouble. Now, if they handle it really well, you can start looking at, okay, now let's spread them out. Let's try to put them in conflict and go to some of these other answers when you're attacking the 3-4. But that's really what we're looking for is which one of these outside backers or which one of these safeties is less comfortable near the line of scrimmage, and that's the guy we're going after. That's kind of very much a basketball mentality of find the right matchup and go at it. Okay, appreciate you guys checking this out. Again, I've got a full course on this with game film and everything on CoachTube. You can ask me questions in the comments, or you can just reach out to me, fbcoachsimpson@gmail.com. We got a couple more coming up. Talk about formations we try to use against the 3-4. Talk about RPO game, and then get to this last one here. Are all things equal, and how do I find out? How do I get the matchup that I want? Appreciate you guys' time.